Hi, what's going on? My name is Anant. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can self-host some of your most favorite applications like WordPress or N8N with just a single click using agencyserver.io. And these open source applications are going to be hosted inside some of the most powerful servers that are being used by the Fortune 500 companies. So you can be 100% confident that if I'm hosting my application in a server, that is going to be 24 by 7 reliable for me. So let's see how you're going to do this. So the first thing you have to do is go ahead and create an account with agencyserver.io. So what I need to do is create a free account, and we'll go to this page where I have to fill the information to create my account. Now, right after that, you're going to get an email through which you're going to verify your email. Now, once you have verified your email, you will see a dashboard which looks like this. Now, in this dashboard, you can see I already got few free credits which I can find over here, right? Which means I don't have to immediately put my credit card to test this, right? What you can do is launch your very first server absolutely free, and then when you feel confident, you can go ahead and add some money to your wallet. It's not a monthly subscription. You just need to add a little bit of money in your wallet, and this is going to deduct the amount from your wallet on an hourly basis. And that is the best part, that you're not committing monthly, annually, or anything like that. You're going to be paying hourly, right? So if you deploy a server today and you delete that right away, then you're not going to pay anything for that, right? So you can see over here, I've already hosted one server. But before I host the server, let me take you to the billing section and show you how you can add money to your wallet. So all you have to do is go to your available credits. You see, we got a few free credits over here. Now, what we need to do is click on, type how many credits you want to add. Click on add credits, click on pay now, and it'll add money to your wallet. But you don't have to do this right now. I'm just showing you in case you have hosted your server successfully and you want to continue using the server for N8N or WordPress or anything that you want. Now let's see how simple it is to host your very first server. All you have to do is click on the create button, which is going to give you the option to choose your hosting provider. So we are using Hetzner, which is the most powerful, being used by Fortune 500 companies, and yet the cheapest in the world. Let's see how affordable Hetzner is for us. So you don't have to play with the OS version, just keep the default setting as it is. We don't have to get into the technicalities. Now we just have to choose between the tech stacks. So if there is anything that you want to host related to PHP, then we're going to be using PHP. Otherwise, if I want to host anything related to Node.js, then I will be using Node.js. Now, PHP could be helpful when you want to host WordPress or some of the open source Laravel projects, right? So anything, any technology that is on PHP, you can host it over here. Or if it is something like N8N, which can only be hosted on Node.js, then you have to select Node.js. So instead of hosting WordPress, I'm going to host N8N, which is the most difficult job to do, right? So I'm going to pick the most difficult job and show you how simple it is to host your N8N application. So I'm going to click on Node.js. Now pick any server that you want. So I'm going to select a server that is from Germany. And as you can see, the pricing for all these servers starts at $10. You can get a standard server, or you can also get a dedicated CPU if you have, higher usage of your automations or your WordPress hosting, right? Then you can go ahead and choose dedicated CPU. Now, let me tell you this, the pricing would vary depending on the location that you would pick. So if I, pick this location, the pricing would change accordingly. So again, I can just start with the cheapest server for my N8N hosting. So I am going to select this one, which has 2 cores and 4 GB of RAM. Now you can compare this with other hosting providers. They are super expensive, plus they come with an annual commitment, right? Whereas over here, you are going to pay on an hourly basis. So you're not logged in with any vendor for a year or for a month. If you do not like the server, you can go ahead and immediately delete this. That's the best part. So I'm going to select this server and just give it a name as my new server. And then you have to click on connect now, and that's it. Now all the technical stuff that has to be done right after that is going to be taken care by agencyserver.io. Now, it takes hardly 5 to 10 minutes to deploy the server. It is going to create the server, do all the cleaning that it has to do, install all the dependencies it has to install. So everything that has to be done, agency server is just going to take care of it. You don't have to worry about anything. Now, instead of waiting for this server to get installed, I'm going to take you to another server which was already installed, and this is exactly what you get once the server is installed, because right now it's going to take me 5 to 10 minutes to install the server. So if you go to my dashboard, one of the server is already being installed. It's just created right now but not ready yet until it's 100% ready. But you can see one of the server is already ready, which I recently installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the server panel of this server. So I'm going to click on this, and remember this, right? It took me from admin.agencyserver.io to app.agencyserver.io. This is your server's portal, which is different for each of your server, right? So if I want to log into this server, I can log in from here, and it is going to take me to the app.agencyserver.io. Now, this is where I can go ahead and install any application that I want and as much applications that I want. So let me show you this. If I go to the application section, I can go ahead and create my very first application, which is N8N. By the way, just read this yellow instruction over here. If node red option is disabled, please visit the server setting to enable it. So node red and N8N, these are two applications that are disabled by default. So what you need to do first when you have installed a fresh server is go to the settings, which is over here, scroll down a little bit and just install the N8N. So as you can see over here right now, I've already installed N8N, so I don't have to do anything. Otherwise, it will give you a button like this. So you need to click on this button and wait for 2 to 5 minutes. It will install the most updated version of N8N for you. Right, and as the N8N gets updated, the new version rolls out, you can always come back and update the version of N8N. But right now we are at the latest version of N8N, so we don't have to do anything. Now, coming back to the application, we need to click on create application. I'm going to name this as my N8N server. Now, primary domain, the best part is that this application can be hosted on your own domain. We don't have to use some alias random domain. So let's say my business has a domain called as b2bmarketingfunnel.com, and I want to host my N8N over here. I can absolutely do that. But honestly, I don't want to host my N8N on my primary domain because that will break my website. So what I would rather do is I would host it on a subdomain, right? Which is pretty simple to do. All I have to do is take this domain right over here, and just before the domain, I'm going to add anything that I like. Let's say I just want to add n8n.b2bmarketing.com. That's it. You can just name it whatever you want, right? I'm just adding a subdomain so that I don't have to visit this. Instead, I'm going to visit this to access my N8N application. That's it. So since I'm trying to install N8N over here, all I have to do is create a record in my DNS, which is pretty simple to do. All you have to do is go to your DNS editor, and you see there is a record. So all I have to do, type N8N over here, and then come back, copy this IP address that we got from the agencyserver.io, paste it, click on add record, and that's it. That's all you have to do. It's not that complicated, right? All we did is we just typed the name N8N, copied the IP address, and pasted over here. That's it. Now, once you have pasted the IP address, you're going to select N8N. You don't have to click on anything else. Just click on create application, and that's it. So let's see. Now you can see N8N application has been installed successfully. I got a message, N8N is installed, but there's one thing that I have to do, which is installing SSL, right? So that I can get a verified badge like this. And again, it's absolutely free and easy to do that. All I have to do is click on SSL certificate on the left, click on automatic installation, and then I get a domain on which I want to install the SSL. So I need to click on install automatic SSL, and that's it. This is going to install the SSL on my application. I can go ahead and enable this. That's it. Now I can come back to my dashboard. So N8N is installed on my server. The SSL is also installed. So what I can do is go to this domain so that I can access my freshly installed N8N application. So this is your very first time when you set up your N8N. It's going to ask you for the email and the password. So I'm just going to create a random password and an email. Click on next. Which what describes you best. Let's just fill the information real quick. Get started, skip, and here you go. You have N8N installed on your own custom domain. Now, if you want to create a workflow or an AI agent, you can go ahead and absolutely do that from here. Now, imagine if you were doing the same thing on Zapier or Pabbly or any other automation platform, it costs you for each workflow. Whereas using agencyserver.io, you can host N8N without without worrying about the maintenance and the update and all that complicated stuff that you need to do for just $10 a month, and you get unlimited number of workflows. In fact, if you want to deploy this for your clients, you can always come back, right, and create another application for your client, right? And you don't have to pay anything for that. That is the best part. That is the best system for agencies, that every new client you onboard, you can create an independent N8N account for them without an additional cost. You already have a server, you already have hosted your own N8N over there. Just go ahead and deploy your client's account over there. So yeah, that's what you get over here. Now remember this, what you need to do to keep your server is add some money to your wallet, because if you come here, you can see we have used this for less than 1 hour, right? And for each hour, it's going to cost us something, right? So we are getting billed for an hour, right? So when we have used it for a month, we are going to get billed $10, which is not a lot, right? Because if you compare it with Zapier and Pabbly, it's pretty expensive. For each independent account, you have to pay an additional fees. So anytime you feel that your server resources are getting utilized to its fullest potential, you can go ahead and raise a ticket to upgrade your server to the next tier, so that you can scale up, scale down whenever you want to, and you get billed for the hourly usage instead of making an upfront monthly commission or annual commission commitment. All right, that's it for today. I think that's all we needed to launch our very first server and deploy our very first application. Now what you need to do is go ahead and create your free account, launch your very first server, launch your very first application. If you have any issue, go ahead and raise a ticket over here. Our team will get back to you and help you with whatever question that you have. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.